We found that it's really difficult if you separate people from the context of where their lives happen or where these activities happen. So if we brought them into a sterile room, it would be pretty hard for Gary to really share all the nuances of what goes on when he's engaging in some sort of flight simulation. So we're going to spend some time in his house.
It's fun flying to places that I've been before. My friend that lives in Georgia, I'd asked him, I said, what was your route from Fort Benning, Georgia to Vietnam? And so we've flown that together, and there's a very fine example of his airplane. I've got a headset and a boom, so you can talk real time as you're flying online with somebody. I'm sure you can probably do that with other gaming devices. I've never gotten into those, but that's just a lot of fun, and it's relaxing.
It's important, I think, for the client and our designers to see and empathize with the customer. When they see the customer struggling with a product or doing these workarounds, they can begin to empathize and understand what the problem is.
Designers are they're only creative entities, and they need reasons to do what they're doing. If you asked me to design a remote control, I could design it 1,000 different ways, right? But research is kind of the strainer that helps me figure out what the top 3 ways are to design it and who to design it for.
When I sit down and make all the choices, one of the hardest thing is choose the color. There was a song about by a Vietnamese who is anti-war, and people compare him to like the Vietnamese Dylan, Bob Dylan, and he makes some fantastic song talking about the Vietnamese girl with yellow skin and that kind of thing. It's really beautiful words. So I'm kind of choose because of maybe of my ethnicity and race. That's a Hummer. Look at that. My car is like half the size of that. So, I feel like it's for me, something small. Few things are made, with small size people in mind. Like shoes, where can I find shoes size 5 and 4.5? I order online.
Companies who are developing products, they're product development teams, they're very concerned about using best practice tools in Six Sigma or Design for Six Sigma. And frankly, those are not innovation tools.
So we have a variety of research modules that we customize for each project, and I think these modules really help us uncover insights where traditional tools may not have. So we're in the analysis and synthesis phase of a research project. So we've completed all of the field research and the ethnographic interviews and ethnographic observation. And we're starting to organize our insights and observations into larger categories of meaning. We can start to take these categories and these big insights and really look at them from a step-by-step process or start to ideate with the design team around what some solutions might be. But it's important to have categories and to have big patterns of insight like this rather than just pointing to one individual insight as the answer to everything. The people that I've found to be the best fit for this job are multifunctional people who can do the research, but then they also have some sort of visualization skills. Many other consultancies will hire anthropologists and sociologists, which could also work for us, but the piece that those people are generally missing is the visualization piece. A lot of times they think that we'll just come back to them at the end of it with a list of features that your customers want. And it's always a lot more than that. People and their experiences aren't just a list of features and desires. They're a kind of a complicated combination of emotions and attitudes and behaviors. You know, in the end, we will come up with a list, but it's always backed up with stories and evidence and mountains of data answering the question why.
Well, what does excite me about research is the fact that you get insight. And if you capture insight, that is valuable.
I often see that our clients are reinvigorated about their project. Sometimes when they come to us and they're at that phase, they've been thinking about it for a while and they're sort of stuck. It's fun to go on that journey with them because it's almost like they're starting over and they just become excited about the project again.